Day one of boot camp. Is anybody fired up? Is anybody excited about what we're going to have happen today? Guys, I am super, super, super excited to be here. My name is Nikki Sutherland, and I am one of the top leaders here inside Envision You. And myself and my sister Angela Cruikshank and my amazing sister Chinita Foster, we are here because we decided that we want to bring this skill set of trading the Forex and cryptocurrency markets to the world. And as you've seen from the, the introductions in the call, it is a global call, ladies and gentlemen. We have people here from Atlanta, Bahamas, UK, Nigeria, all over the world. We have individuals on this call right now ready to tap in to this Forex and cryptocurrency marketplace. But we're not just going to do it basic, ladies and gentlemen. We decided to do it in a bootcamp mentality. That means that should you decide to be a part of the FL2 crew with us, that we are going to be trading every single day together, compounding our money together, and we are going to fast track you to the skill of this trading space that so many people across the world are talking about, but I don't believe they have the right the systems, the softwares, and the skills that we're going to show you today. So whether you are brand new to the skill set or whether you're somebody that's well seasoned into the skill set, I believe that on the back of this call, you're going to come up with a strategy, you're going to come up with a software that you're going to be able to use, and you are going to be ready for the day. Now, I want to see, guys, this session is the vibesy session. This is the high energy session. So the more you interact with me in the chat, is the faster we're going to get through this. So I need to just test out who we have here. Put 777 in the chat box if you are hearing me. I know I'm all the way in the UK, but I need to make sure everybody can hear me clearly as we take forward this financial literacy 2 call, and we're going to do it boot camp style. Okay. Now, the phenomenal thing about it, guys, is you're in great hands. Okay. I've been in the Forex and cryptocurrency space now for just over 4 years. It has blessed my family tremendously. Okay. I've had the privilege and the honor of teaching thousands of people across the world this skill set. But up until this year, I hadn't come across a piece of software that allows the everyday person like you and I to get involved in this space in a simple way. Someone type in the chat, simple. So we're going to go through some simple strategies, some simple rules, and we are going to get into these markets, guys. That's what I'm excited about. Now, I am also joined by 2 incredible individuals who have also been inside this space. Mrs. Angela Cruikshank, she's also been inside this space, for multiple years, and she's done phenomenally well herself and her family inside this skill. And we are also here with the incredible ambassador and Dr. Chinita Foster, who you're going to hear from a little bit later on, who is in the business of empowering people. This woman has made a decision that she's not just going to impact herself with this, but she's going to impact the world. And so we trade together, we work very closely together, and all 3 of us have decided to collaborate together on this bootcamp to make sure you all get the information. So can I just get some flames, some 7s in the chat for my other 2 beautiful co-hosts who you're going to be hearing from very, very soon. Okay, so let's get straight into this, guys. Hopefully you'll be able to see my screen. Take notes. For those of you that are brand new onto this call, I advise you to take notes. I also want you to just understand that I'm going to be speaking in very simple terms. Okay, I'm not going to speak in jargon. I'm not going to overcomplicate the system. I'm going to give you a real clear strategy that you could take away with, and you're going to learn it from today. Okay, someone type today inside the chat box as I see if I can pull up my screen to share it with you all. Now, the most important thing when it comes to trading, ladies and gentlemen, is making sure that we know the rules, we set the rules, and we apply the rules. Trading is all about rules. Now, I'm going to tell you this, facts. I have lost a lot of money in trading. In fact, one day I lost 27,000 pounds in one day. Why? Because I broke my own rules. Now, I made a lot of money since, guys, but here's the thing. I said, if I can show you some of my mistakes, you can learn from those mistakes, and you're going to be able to be very profitable in these markets. So the first thing I want you to write in the chat is the word risk. Trading is a risk. You can win trades, you can lose trades. In fact, you're never going to win 100% of your trades. But what I'm going to share with you on today's call is how you're going to be profitable in these markets, winning more trades than you actually lose, if you can apply the rules, if you can follow the rules. Now, put yes or no in the chat. If I could teach you a way where you could win 7, 8 trades out of 10, would that be worth your time? Would that be worth your time on this call today? Because that's what I want to show you, how to do it safely, how to avoid greed, how to manage your risk, and also as well, how to make sure that we hold each other accountable. Now, in order for us to do this, let's see if it will allow me to share my screen. We have to make sure that we follow a set of rules. Someone type rules inside the chat box, okay? Now, here's how we're going to do it, guys. First of all, for those of you that are brand new on the call, you're going to learn the rules. For those of you that have been here before that know the rules, we're going to teach the new people on the call the rules, and we're all going to write these rules down again. It's day 1 of boot camp, so every single one of us are brand new again. Now, the promise that we make to each other is that we will follow the rules. Guys, if you do not follow the rules, your probability of losing money goes up. It goes considerably up, right? So we want to make sure that we follow the rules. Now, if you are brand new to trading or brand new to this call, I want you to type 7 inside the chat box so we can officially welcome you, so we know exactly who you are. And if you are here, you're a returnee, you come here all the time and you know the rules, type 8 inside the chat box, okay? So I want to make sure everybody is on the call. I can see some newbie, I can see the 7s coming in, I see the 8s coming in. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, now whether you are, as I said before, whether you're brand new or whether you're a seasoned trader, you're going to take from this call, and we're all going to hold each other accountable to be able to increase and improve our trading skills. Okay, now one thing when it comes to trading is this: I don't want you to be scared of the charts. I don't want you to be scared of, some of the things that over the past in history people have been frightened of. We're going to break it all down over the course of the boot camp. Now, boot camp will be Tuesday through Thursday, same time, same link, for the whole of October. So we're going to spend some time together. We're going to get to know each other. We're going to be family on this call. And by the end of this week, I'd expect everyone on this call to know the rules off by heart. Okay. Now, trading is something that is very simple, guys. You believe it or not, it's very, very simple. And when we're looking at when we're getting into a trade, the first thing we need to understand when it comes to trading, okay, is exactly what it is that we're doing. So the first thing I'm going to say to you is this: unlike the stock market, where we want the market to go up, when it comes to trading Forex and cryptocurrency, we do not care if the market goes up or down. We don't. We make money when it goes up. We make money when it goes down. Okay, so we don't care. All we have to do is predict the right direction. So if we believe the market's going up, we're going to buy. And if we believe the market's going down, we are going to sell. Now, how do we determine whether the market is going up or whether the market is going down? Simple, guys. Looking at the history, what's happened before. In trading is very simple. There's patterns. Someone type patterns inside the chat box. There are patterns that take place in the market. If it's happened before, it will happen again. So we want to analyze the patterns of the marketplace. So I've had the privilege of putting some pink arrows. Your arrows don't have to be pink, by the way. But I love to make my charts nice and colorful. Can you all see the pink arrows? Go ahead and type pink inside the chat. I've put some arrows onto a black line where I've seen the marketplace has repeated itself. The pattern, it keeps going back to this black line. Can you all see that? It's touched it a few times here. It's touched it a few times here. It's touched it a few times here. And look, it keeps on going back and touching this pink line. So earlier on last week, we predicted that it will come back to our pink line again. And so we put in for a sell because we believed it would come down to our pink line. Now, when it came down to our pink line, guess what happened? We made money. But there's one thing that can happen inside the marketplace that could stop the market from following the correct pattern that it's previously done. And that's why we want to follow our rules, because it's not just as simple as saying, well, it's gone there before, it's going to go there again. So we have a set of rules that we follow before we enter into the marketplace, so that we are able to predict correctly whether to get in for a buy if we think the market's going up, or a sell if we think the market is going down. Okay, does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Put a yes or yes in the chat. And as you can see there, we predicted that it will come down, and in fact it did, right? So we just want to know, is it going up or is it going down? I'm a simple girl. I'm not going to blow your mind with loads of theory. That's what our education is for. I'm going to give it to you in very simple terms. Put a 7 in the chat if you're okay with that. Okay, we're going to break it down real simple. I'm not going to blow your mind with jargon, guys. I'm not going to do that. I want you to be able to get this, and I want you to get it very simply. So trading moves in patterns, okay? The market moves in patterns. We want to determine, are we going up or are we going down? In order for us to determine that, we're going to look at the pattern in the marketplace, and we are going to say, are we going to go up or are we going down? Before we make a decision, we got to go through our 7 rules to be able to determine if it is safe to get into the trade, okay? So for those of you that are here all the time, I would like us to teach those that are new the rules of our trading session. So here we have it, guys. If you do not know the rules off by heart, please write them down again. If you are brand new, you're going to write these 7 rules down. So who can tell me rule number 1? Someone go in the chat. Marion, straight in there. Let's go. And for those of you that are new, we're kind of competitive on this call. There is sort of like a, we do fastest finger first, okay? Rule number 1 is gratitude. We want to get our minds right. Mindset is very important when it comes to trading, okay? I tell you this, guys, it's so easy to make a mistake. I have 3 children. I have a husband. You know, I have other businesses. It could be very easy to get distracted. So anytime you're coming to the charts, you want to remove distractions. You want to get your mind right. And we like to get our mind in a place of gratitude so we can, you know, anything that's going wrong, we're not thinking about that. Any problems that we have outside, it is straight gratitude in our minds so that we can stay focused on what it is that we are doing. So if you're not driving and you're able to, type in the chat box what you're currently grateful for. And you'll see I put on the music, I get the energy up, because I want to make sure that the mind is right before we go ahead and get into the charts. And so I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for the technology. I'm grateful for my accommodation. I'm grateful for my family, food in the cupboards, air in my lungs. I'm grateful for this amazing skill set. I'm grateful for our founders for really pushing the bar to really put forward this incredible platform so that we are able to, capitalize on this boot camp and capitalize on the information that we have. I'm grateful for the $7.7 trillion a day marketplace that we can all begin to profit from. I'm also grateful for you all for showing up today and for believing in, this boot camp enough to put your time and to trade with us all together. There we go. I see the gratitude coming in the chat as well. Who's going to drop for me rule number 2? Who can tell me rule number 2? Is that Mr. Gary Dixon, I think, was first? Let me go ahead and check. You guys are so fast with this. Yes, it was Mr. Gary Dixon. Rule number 2 is checking the news. Remember I said there's some things that can happen that could change the patterns of the marketplace? Well, I like to check this site here called forexfactory.com. And this is where I'm checking to see if there's anything crazy happening in the world that could potentially affect the regular flow of the charts, okay? Now, what you want to do when you go onto forexfactory.com, the first thing you want to make sure that the date is correct, okay? You also want to make sure that the time for where you currently are in the world is correct. So here in the UK right now, it's 9:26, okay? You also are going to look at the currency section and the impact section. Someone type impact, very important, impact section, okay? Now, impact, what we want to look at is any high impact news that will affect our trades, okay? So you're going to see different colored folders. You'll see orange, you'll see gray, you'll see yellow, you'll also see red. Now, red are the folders that we want to avoid. Now, we don't have any red folders on here, but I'm going to flick forward to tomorrow so you can see the red folders. Can you all see that? Type danger in the chat if you can see the red folders. So we can see there that tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. tomorrow, the United States dollar is in a red folder. And at 7 p.m., this is UK time, okay? So I know around this time, I'm not going to trade the United States dollar. In fact, I leave it an hour before and an hour after. So tomorrow between 12:30 and 2:30, I will not touch the United States dollar, and 6 and 8 p.m. I will not touch the United States dollar. Why? Because there's some news that's coming out around that time, and that's going to affect the normal flow of the trades. Okay, does that make sense? Put a yes in the chat if that makes sense. But if we flick back to today, we'll see we have no red folders. Now, some people say, well, what about the yellow and orange, Nikki? I don't care about those. I just care about the red folder. So I'm happy to trade anything else, okay? As long as it's not a red folder. Now, if you really want to go deeper into it, you can look at the bottom of the screen and it will tell you what the news means and why. But to be honest, as long as I see red, I'm going to avoid trading that currency. So we already know that tomorrow around 1:30 UK time and 7 p.m. UK time, the United States dollar could be quite volatile. So we want to avoid that currency pair. Okay. Okay. Rule number 3. Who can tell me rule number 3? Danielle was in there. Let's go. Risk management, guys. Now, the most important thing that you're going to need to do when it comes to trading this market is analyze your risk. Okay. One of the worst things you can do, guys, is, just jump in and out of trades without calculating your risk. Risk is important, okay? Risk is important. I want you to write that down on your bit of paper. Risk is very, very important. So here's what I'll say to you guys, and I just want to put it in simple terms so you can think about it like this. If you have, $100 or £100 in your trade account, would it be wise to put all your money on one trade? Would it be a wise thing to do to say, hey, look, I've got 100, let me put all that money onto one trade? Exactly. No, it wouldn't. Why? Because if I lose that trade, I've lost all my money. And then what am I going to have to do? Put more money in. And then you become, what I was in my first year, a serial depositor. And that's not the point. You want to be a serial withdrawer, not a serial depositor. So we want to make sure that based on how much money is in our trade account, we are placing trades that allow us to, to trade another day. Okay, you guys want to trade another day. So I have created, a basic, I suppose, strategy for risk management. As you grow in your trading journey, you may have a different risk management rules. But for me, this is what I do, and it hasn't failed me yet. Guys, in my first year, I used to blow accounts and I used to have to keep putting money in. Since I've been using this strategy, I've not blown another account since. So I would encourage you to follow this. Now, the average rule of risk management is to risk between 1% to 3% of your trade account. But I'm going to simplify that for you even more. Are you guys ready? Let me just show you here inside the chat box. Okay. So if you have 100 in your trade account, okay, you have 100 in your trade account, you are going to want to trade what we call 0.01, which is 10p or 10 cent if you're in the US, right? That's per trade. If you are with a balance of 200 in your trade account, you're going to want 0.02, which is 20p or 20 cent. All right, 300, 0.03. There's no trick questions, guys. Very, very simple. Someone tell me, if you have 500 in your trade account, how much should you be trading? Okay, very, very simple. So 10 cent for 100, 20 cent for 200. So if you have 500 in your trade account, yes, Kanisha, it is 0.05, which is 50 cent or 50p. Very, very simple stuff. What about 1,000? What if you had 1,000 in your trade account? How much should you be trading per trade? What would be your maximum per trade with 1,000 in your trade account? This is where sometimes people get a little bit get a little bit messed up. Okay, so 1,000 in your trade account. All right, and that was a little bit of a trick because I'll show you here. Let's see if I can type it. 1,000 in your trade account looks like this: 0.10. All right, 0.10, which is a pound or a dollar. Okay, 0.10, not 1.00. That's actually 10 pounds or $10. Okay, so you want 0.10 for every $1,000 that you have inside your trade account. Okay, that is my risk management rules. I encourage you, okay, to stick to that, guys. If you stick to that, I promise you, you will not be sweating over your trades. You will not be praying over your trades, talking in tongues over your trades. You will not be, fretting and looking at your account constantly, because trading should be a peaceful skill set, right? It shouldn't be a skill set that has you nervous. It shouldn't be a skill set that makes you shake. It should not be a skill set that you are, not feeding the children because you're so focused on your trades. I'm just confessing. I've done that before, right? They had to have, toast and beans and egg for dinner because I'm so focused on the trades, sweating. That's not the point of this skill set. It is for time freedom, ladies and gentlemen. So you should not be spending all your time in the charts. You should not be spending time staring at your trades, okay? The trade doesn't move any well when you stare at it, all right? So very, very important. If you have good risk management, you can relax. Someone type relax in the chat. You can relax. Good risk management is so powerful because it means you can breathe. You can get on with your day. You don't have to keep checking your phone all the time. You're able to go and, do the things that you've always wanted to do. But when you do other things, when you over leverage, as we call it, you will forever have anxiety. You're forever going to be doing some crazy stuff. And it's not going to be good for your mental. I can promise you this, okay? So you have to be disciplined in this space. All right. So how many of you are okay with the rules so far? Rule number 1, gratitude. Rule number 2 is checking the news. Rule number 3 is risk management, making sure that we know how much we're risking when it comes to how much is in our account. Okay, put a 3 inside the chat box if you're happy with those 3 rules. All right. We've got 7 rules. I want to make sure we're all good with these rules. Absolutely amazing. Okay, rule number 4. Who's going to drop rule number 4 inside the chat for me? Excellent. Never, ever, ever trade without a stop loss. Okay, write that down. Never, ever trade without a stop loss. I know some of you guys want to see the money. So this is where I'm going to show you the money right now. So last week, we were on this call and we said that the market was going to come and bounce off our blue line and go up to our black line. Can you guys see that? The market bounced off the blue line and then went up. And we said it's either going to stop at the first blue line, the second blue line, the black line, or the next black line, which is up here. Now, when we place a trade, we're telling the market, is the market going up or is the market going down? Very simple. We open our device and we press buy or we press sell. Now, in this instance, we were pressing buy. Now, here's what we said. We said we're going to enter the market here, okay? And again, I'm going to keep this very simple. We were entering the market on this blue line, okay? I'm going to turn that arrow blue just for the purpose of this, okay? And then we said we're going to cash out on this blue line. Okay, so type cash in the chat if you can see what I'm saying. So we were entering the market on the first blue line, and when the market hits the second blue line, we would cash out. Okay, excellent. Now here's what we did. We said, if the market comes down to our black line, that means it's gone the opposite direction and we will exit the trade at a small loss. That's the stop loss, okay? Let me just put this here for you guys so you can see it. I'm going to write it here. This is the stop loss, all right? Boom. You guys can see that? Make that red. Right? This is the stop loss. So although we won that trade, let's pretend that the trade didn't win and it went down and hit our stop loss, okay? So the stop loss on a 0.01, which is a 10p or 10-cent trade, we would have lost £7, okay, or $7. So we're risking $7 to make 13, okay? So we're risking 7 to make 13, all right? So if the trade didn't go the way that we predicted, we would have lost $7. Does that make sense, guys? Put 7 in the chat if that makes sense. So we risked $7 in order to make $13, okay? Now, if we did not have this stop loss here, if we decided we did not want to put the stop loss in and the market kept going down and down and down, what happens is it's going to keep taking our money until it completely blows our account and we have no money left. So the stop loss protects our account from a bigger loss. Does that make sense, guys? So if the market is going the wrong way, it's going to cut us out at $7. If we delete this stop loss, the market continues to go down, it's going to keep going down until it takes all the money in our trade account. And we've already decided that putting all our money on one trade is crazy, right? We would never do that. So we always put a stop loss in place that's going to protect our account so that we do not have to worry about losing all our money in our trade account. If you do not trade with a stop loss, ladies and gentlemen, you are saying, take all my money on this one trade. And is that a smart thing to do, ladies and gentlemen? Is it a smart thing to offer up our entire account on one trade? No, we've established that already. So the rule is never, ever, ever trade without a stop loss. Now, I've done it before, guys. I've deleted my stop loss before. I've traded without a stop loss. And as the money is just going down and down and down, I'm sitting there saying, it's going to turn around. It's going to come back around. It's going to come back around. And it never does, right? It never comes back around. It always will blow your account, right? We don't want no blowing accounts. Has anybody on here blown an account before? The reason why you blew an account is probably this reason: not trading with a stop loss and not using the proper risk management. Okay, come to the altar and repent. We're not going to do that, guys. You cannot be a part of this boot camp if you're going to break the rules. We've got to stick to the risk management rules. Never trade without a stop loss. If you are in agreement, we're pledging this together. We're not going to trade without a stop loss. I need you in the chat box right now to agree. Just put, I agree. We all got to agree with this together, okay? So that's what the stop loss is. It protects your account. It says what it does what it says. It stops losses, okay? You're going to get a small loss. But if you have 100 in your trade account and you lose 7, do you have enough to carry on trading for another day? Yes, you still have $93 left to trade with. But if you don't have the stop loss, it's just going to eat all your account, and then you become that serial depositor. So I hope I've explained the stop loss clearly for you all as we go on to rule number 5. Who can tell me rule number 5? Go ahead and let me know. And I want it in its entirety, okay? In its entirety for this point. I know you guys are very, very competitive, but who can give me rule number 5? Danielle, you got it right there. So rule number 5 is this: you don't want to have more than 5 trades open at any one time. Now, what I'm going to show you, ladies and gentlemen, is a tool later on this call, a tool that is going to be significant in your trading journey. It's going to help those of you that are brand new, that you won't even have to do these charts. You won't have to do any of this stuff. The app that I'm going to share with you guys is going to produce trade ideas for you. It's going to tell you where to enter. It's going to tell you where to take your profit, and it's going to tell you where to put your stop loss. But that doesn't mean you should enter into every single trade that comes through the app, because again, we want to give your trades room to breathe. So for me, you want to have maximum 5 trades open at any one time, no more than 5. If you're trading gold, like this is the gold chart we're looking at right now. I trade gold. Gold is my baby. If you're trading gold, Bitcoin, or oil, or any, volatile currencies, my advice is 3 trades open at any one time, okay? I once had a guy call me, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, panicking. He was like, Nikki, I need your help. I don't know which trade to close. And I looked at his trades. He had 27 trades open at once, ladies and gentlemen. It was a crazy situation. No wonder he couldn't sleep. And I was getting palpitations just looking at the screenshot. 27 trades open all at once. And I could tell his mindset wasn't right when he was placing those trades, because he had a buy and a sell on at the same time for the same currency. He was all over the shop. And that's the very, very important thing about trading, guys. If you know that your head's not right, you don't trade. You don't press the button, right? Do not press the button if your mindset is not right, because again, you're going to expose yourself, to a lot of heartache, financially and mentally as well. So, very important, 5 trades open any one time. But if it's gold, Bitcoin, or any, high volatile trades, then you want to make sure it's 3 at a maximum. Okay. Just to make sure that I haven't lost anyone, put a 5 in the chat if you've got those 5 rules down and packed, okay? I just want to make sure I'm not going too fast for any of our newbies on the call. Excellent, excellent, excellent. 2 more rules, and then we are ready to deep dive in to the softwares for you guys. Okay, rule number 6, who's going to drop that in for me? Who has rule number 6? Let's see what we have here for rule number 6. Danielle, superstar student. I think it's Danielle that may have won today's answers in the chat. Celebrate successes and call each other out in love is rule number 6. I kid you not, guys. There's going to be times where you're going to want to quit this skill set. I tell you. There were times I wanted to throw my phone out the window. Does anybody on this call resonate with what I'm saying? There's times when I was like, never again. Never again am I entering into these marketplaces. Never again am I doing this. Never, never. I was sweating. I was vexed, angry, miserable. But you know what kept me going? Seeing the community dropping their screenshots inside the chat. I remember somebody that joined a few months before me, and they dropped in a significant, profits in the chat. And that inspired me. I saw somebody else give a testimony in the chat to say they were in the position I was. And, they finally were able to pay off their mum's mortgage. And seeing those testimonies and celebrating other people gave me hope, and it kept me going just that one more day. And I want to encourage you all. This is why I say, when you place your first trade, drop it inside the community. When you, make your first withdrawal, drop it in the community. When you do anything in your trading journey, you never know who you're inspiring by sharing your testimony, by showing what you've been able to achieve, because there's somebody on the verge of giving up this incredible skill set just out of frustration, just out of just really desperately wanting to win on a big scale. And I tell you this, guys, I'm so grateful for the community that we have here. I'm so grateful that we celebrate each other. We're so hot on celebration here. We're celebrating every day, the big wins, the small wins, the in-between wins. Every single day that you show up for yourself is a win. And I don't ever want us to get insensitive when it comes to celebrating others. We got to really make sure that we celebrate. You see somebody in your group, they've downloaded the app for the first time. Yes, girl, come on. Let's do it. Welcome to the FL2 crew. You see somebody inside the chat place their first. I remember somebody in the first week, they made, I think it was $2.30, and we celebrated it like it was 2 million. We were like, yay, make the withdrawal. So don't ever get shy of celebration. Celebrating successes is a big way that we're all going to win together. There's no competition, just collaboration. It's a $7 trillion a day industry, and there's no need to compete, guys. We can all take money from this marketplace, okay? And sometimes you don't know that celebration is helping somebody else somewhere else, okay? The next part of the rule, though, is calling each other out in love. And what do I mean by that? I mean that there were times when I was over leveraging. I remember having $1,000 account, and I was doing like 10.00 and I was posting it in the chat, telling everybody, and nobody called me out on love. Nobody said, Nikki, you're doing too much. Nikki, that's crazy. And if I'd have had that little bit of accountability, just like when we go to the gym, where we're more likely to stick at it and do the right thing. If we have a gym partner, we got to get good at calling each other out. Maybe you see your sister, she hasn't been on the call this week. Hey girl, I know you were so motivated. Is everything good? I haven't seen you on the call this week. Hey girl, I haven't seen you posting your trades. How's everything going? Let's do this together. Hey, I see you over leveraged a little bit. Come on, I know you want to do this for your family. I'd hate for you to become a serial depositor. We've got to encourage each other, hold each other accountable, bring each other along the way. No quitters, guys. We're doing this together. Can I tell you something? When I worked in the bank, one of the bankers told me that women and minorities cannot trade. Do you know how much that drove me? Do you know how much that pushed me to say, hey, look, I'm not just going to trade for myself. I want to get a bunch of traders to show that we can trade, the women can trade, the minorities can trade, that anybody who follows these 7 rules and uses our software and systems, despite working full time, despite having the children, despite not being able to have a lot of time, can use this and make it happen. Don't ever underestimate the power of feedback, the power of the critics who tell you it's never going to work, you can't do it. Use that as fuel to drive you to be able to push to learn this skill set. If you learn, you earn. The more you learn, the more you earn. The more you learn, the more you earn. Don't be afraid to learn this skill so that you're able to do these charts, because our software is going to be so simple for you. You're going to say, well, I don't even need to learn the charts. I'm just going to follow the software. Guys, let me tell you this. The difference between you learning this skill set and the difference from you just using the software is this. Let me show you. I'm going to talk to you guys about the money now. So when you are brand new, someone say brand new in the chat. When you're brand new, my advice to you is always go to the first take profit zone. Okay. You're always going to go to the first take profit zone. This is this one, from the blue line to the next blue line when you're brand new. This is what we call take profit 1. All right. Put a 1 in the chat. You're brand new. What does brand new mean? Brand new means you cannot do these charts for yourself. You do not understand the markets enough to make a calculated decision on whether to go to take profit 1, which is here, take profit 2, which is here, or take profit 3, which is here. So as a brand new person, you're always going to go to take profit 1. Does that make sense? Put a yes in the chat. Now, when you start to learn how to analyze the market, this is why learning is important. You start to learn to analyze the market. You're going to use our education. You're going to use all I'll show you that in a minute. You're going to be able to say, well, actually, I think it may go to take profit 2. So let me put my take profit and take profit 2. So now instead of making 13, now you're going to make 21. But if you say, actually, I've been studying this and I see the pattern, I think it's going to go to take profit 3. Well, now you're going to make 59. This is on your 10p or your 10 cent. So now you're risking $7 to make 59. Now check this out. If you were trading 0.10, so you're trading a pound instead of 10p or $1, you're going to make 21. 21 pips, so 215. So let's go again. You putting down 10 cents, that's $13 on TP1, right? TP2, you're trading $1. It's now 212. TP3, you're trading $10, that's 4,890. Now, which would you prefer to trade, ladies and gentlemen? Would you prefer to trade 10 cents? Would you prefer to trade $1? Or would you prefer to trade $10? Right? Now, even on 10 cents, if you went to take profit 1, it's 13. Take profit 2 is 211. Take profit 3 is 480. So the difference between you learning this skill set is 480 as opposed to 13, right? But when you're brand new, if you don't understand the charts, take profit 1 is where you're going to go. And I'll show you on the software in a moment. Okay, so that is rule number 6. We're going to encourage each other, celebrate each other, but also hold each other accountable to the rules. Okay, yes, we'll get the recording out to you guys as well. Final rule before I bring up Dr. C, so you can hear from her because she's been following this and doing super, super well. Who can tell me the final rule? It's my favorite of them all. This one you are going to love. The final rule, rule number 7, is, of course, having a wealth plan. You know, being an ex-banker, I noticed that most people have no plan for their money. Most people have no wealth plan. Most people just go from paycheck to paycheck. Most people just literally churn their money, bills, and that's it. But here, what we want you to do is have a wealth plan. Now, I go to compounddaily.org/calculator, okay? And what you're able to do here is you're able to work out, you know, a real plan for yourself on how to compound your money. It's very simple maths, but it helps you really to be able to figure out how you're going to be trading and set yourself a goal for your trade account. Now, the first thing you want to do is have a think about how much you're potentially going to put inside your trade account when you start to trade, okay? Now, let's say, for example, we start with $200, all right? Very, very simple, okay? Now, you're also going to have a demo account. Now, when you open your demo account, this is where you're just trading without putting your own money at risk. I would advise you to use the same amount on the demo as you would do when you go live, okay? Now, when you open the demo, it's going to say, how much money do you want to play around with? I would advise you to do the same amount that you're potentially going to put in your trade account, okay? So we're just going to play around with it and just put 200 for now. Now, I know we have some very experienced traders on here that may want to go to, you know, daily interest of more than 5%. But remember, I said we're going to do this really nice and safely. So we're going to look at 5% growth a day. Now, we are doing a 90-day wealth plan. Okay, this brings us to the end of the year. All right. I believe, in my experience, most people cannot stay focused on one thing for longer than a 90-day period at high intensity. So we're going to do 90 days, 5% per day. Now, when I first started to trade, I never used to do withdrawals. I just used to leave my money and let it compound. And I realized that that demotivated me a little bit. What motivated me was making withdrawals. How many of you want to make withdrawals? Put a W inside the chat, right? So withdrawals are good. It's great to make a withdrawal. So what I would say is we're going to withdraw 10% of our profits and reinvest 90%. So that way we feel good about making those withdrawals, okay? And no to weekends. We're not going to trade on the weekend. Weekend is to, you know, to build your business, spend time with family, educate yourself, go through the platform. All right. So we're not going to trade on weekends. So let's calculate this. Have a look at this, guys. You won't be surprised. Just by doing a little safe, little tiny 5% a day, this is what we're going to do. So when we have 200 in our trade account, day 1, we want to make 10. That's it. Once we made the 10, we tick day 1, and I encourage you all to print off this wealth plan. We tick day 1, and guess what we do? We now have 210. We're going to withdraw 1 and leave 209 in the trade account, okay? Day 2, we're now compounding 209, so 5% of that is 1045. And we keep doing this every day, every day. Day 7, ladies and gentlemen, you now have 272 in your trade account, and you've withdrew about 40, 45. Now, put this into perspective. You have $200 in your bank account right now. In 7 days, is that going to grow to 272? Someone let me know in the chat box, because I know you guys aren't getting excited. It's not very big numbers, but I want you to put it into perspective. After 30 days of compounding this money, your 200 is now 749, and now you're on about 60 a day withdrawals, okay? Day 60 of compounding this money, you're looking at now balance of 2,800, and now you're withdrawing 289 every single day, right? How many of you spend 289 every single day at this moment? Do you spend 289 every day? Right? Let's look at 90 days. 90 days of compounding just 200 is now 10,507 as a balance, and 1,145 withdrawals every single day. Someone type every day in the chat. Now, here's what I do. I don't withdraw every day. we created something called WW, which is Withdrawal Wednesday. So every Wednesday, I withdraw. All right. Now, here's what I do. On the week, Wednesday, day 7, I'm saying, right, okay, this is my balance should be 272. So I'm going to withdraw everything and leave 272 in my account. That will equate for losses. That will equate for a day you didn't trade. That will equate for, different things happening in the marketplace. So this also includes losses as well, guys, right? So you go to day 14 and you say, okay, my balance should be 370. I'm going to withdraw everything else. So we have WW, Withdrawal Wednesdays, and every Wednesday we drop in the chat, oh, we just withdrew, whatever that amount. And again, we celebrate each other, celebrate. Now you get to, someone said, well, Nikki, what if my mindset's not right on day 3 and I don't trade? Well, great. You start day 3 the next day. There's no rush. This is your process, guys. Stay in your lane. In fact, my encouragement is to do a 90-day of demo on the same amount that you would be doing. So you build that muscle so you know your routine. So when you do put live money in there, you're kind of good to go. You're more experienced, right? And so these are the 7 rules. Guys, check this out. What about this, right? What about if you were trading 9,000? There's a difference, right? Let me show you. Let's see if you guys get excited about this. So day 7, your 9,000 is now 12,247, and you're now withdrawing 360 a day, right? 30 days in to trading 9,000, you're now looking at 33,707, 2,745 a day. Some people are working monthly and not making that money. 60 days in, 126,000, 13,000 a day. And after 90 days, 472,000, withdrawing 50,000 a day. Guys, I know these numbers are huge. You're like, Nikki, is that for real, for real? They've been doing it for years. I've seen them in the banks. This is what they do with our money, guys. This is not new. It's just new to us. These people have been doing this stuff for a very long time. These are the hidden secrets of the wealthy. This is why they don't talk about Forex. Forex is the largest market in the world. They'll rather tell you about the stock market, but they ain't going to teach you about this. And so when I saw this, I was like, okay, guys, I've fully completed at least 7 of these wealth plans before. It's blessed me. I know this stuff works for those that work it, for those that say I'm dedicated and committed to using what we have to be able to do this. Now, before I show you the app real quick, I want to pull up my sister, Dr. Chinita Foster, ambassador, okay, because she's been on these sessions with me now for the best couple of months. She is an incredible leader. She's been helping so many people across the world, especially women, to tap into this skill set. We've had phenomenal results because we tested this out before we opened it up. And I just want you to hear her heart. I want you to, just get to meet her because she's going to be on these sessions with us as well. A woman who absolutely loves helping people, and she has the results, guys. She is also triple diamond loading in the company, which just means she earns a lot of money and she helps a lot of people as well. So please help me to welcome onto the call my sister from another Mr. Ambassador, Dr. Chinita Foster. Are you there, my sis? Let me see if I can unmute you.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, girl.
All right, guys. So I won't be before you very long. I want to be transparent why I am super excited about this journey. So a little transparency, as you guys may or may not know, my kid's father is an ex-NFL player. And I just remember at the time we had a financial advisor and we would just give our money to them to allow them to invest and to trade. And I don't know if I'm telling my age, I just remember when the stock market crashed and we lost like $3.2 million, okay? $3.2 million. And I remember when I woke up and I was like, where's my money? What happened to the money? And they were like, the money is gone. And I was like, what do you mean it's gone? And they were like, the stock market, it crashed. I was like, I don't understand. And I remember that day I had made a commitment with myself. I was like, I'm never dealing with money ever again in life if I can't see it, touch it, or feel it, right? Because that's how we're raised. That's how we were brought up, you know, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our parents. Now, fast forward, guys, things have really changed in the world. I'm an ambassador of multiple countries and global ambassador and just traveling. And I kept seeing opportunities, ladies and gentlemen, to actually learn Forex and Bitcoin and trading. I was like, I'm okay. I don't want no parts of it. If I can't see it, touch it, or feel it, we're not going to play games with my money. Well, you know, I think it's funny how God works, because when Envision You actually came into my life, the greatest thing about our company is you have products and you have services. So you can find your niche and get rich. You can just pick something. You can be on products or services. So I'm a product girl, right? Because I believe the sellers are rich, the buyers are poor. Let me just deal with products. But ladies and gentlemen, as our company continued to grow and we came out with the financial literacy 2.0, I'm like, you know, fear holds people back. So Shanita, just download the app. I'm going to get there. I got 2 more minutes. I said, okay, I'm going to download the app. So I download the app, and like most of you, put some 777s in the chat. If you're one of those people, when you see something you don't understand, you just get an instant headache. I got an instant headache. Like, I opened the app and I had a headache. I was like, I've never even been good at math at school. Like, what are we going to do? Like, I'm out. I'm checking out. So I remember I said, you know what, Shanita, fear will hold you back in life. And I remember I had a conversation with the amazing Angela, and she's a mom and she's doing multiple things. And I'm like, girl, how you doing all this stuff? And, you know, she was like, one of my lines of income is actually trading. I was like, really? And I just remember Nikki posting something. And guys, this is where being able to learn from other people comes in place. I never want to be the richest person in the room. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. And I happened to jump on one of Nikki's calls. And guys, when I got on a call just like this, I felt like she was talking to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's talking to the kindergartners in the room. The call is for me. Like, literally, she was going step by step, really easy. But once I realized that if I can get on a call like hers and implement what was on the app, I would be unstoppable. Like, once I learned that there was a stop loss button, I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. This like that commercial back in the day where you could set it and forget it. Y'all remember that commercial? Telling my age again. You can set it and forget it. I realized that trading didn't have to be something that was scary or fearful, that I was in a position to actually lose what it was that I was actually willing to risk. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am super excited to be here. Started a community with my group. It's called Moms in Trading. Any mom that wants to join, that wants to learn trading, this is the exact place to be. We have so many levels of growth and teaching. All you got to do is get started. So I'm super excited about this week to introduce so many of my friends and family members to trading and what it looks like to do it on the beginning level. So thank you so much, Nikki, for being a servant leader to kindergartners like me. And thank you to Envision You for actually creating an app that actually has the tools that we need to make it happen. So I'm gonna throw it back to you.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Put some flames in the chat for Dr. and Ambassador Shanita Foster. She is absolutely phenomenal. She's been on every session since the last few months, and she is, you know, definitely a student to this and is doing extremely well and empowering others as well. And, you know, guys, let me show you exactly what we have here and how all of the information I've given you links together with our FL2 package that we have here. And then we'll go into how the bootcamp's going to run for the rest of the month, okay? Now we all have the foundation, the mindset, the rules, how we're going to go forward with this bootcamp. So what I love about FL2 is the creators thought about every single problem that we had as traders when we were growing up, when we were learning, and they fixed it. They put a solution in place. Now, there's 3 pillars to FL2, okay? The first pillar is education. I want you guys to write this down because education is the key. I've mentioned that word many times. I know, I used to be the shortcut queen. I didn't want to hear education, but education is the first pillar. You got to educate yourself. How are you going to do that? We've got a few innovative and creative ways that's fun for you to educate yourself. The first one is SMART, AI technology. SMART's been programmed to give you all of the knowledge around the financial markets to help you to become financially literate, okay? And it doesn't matter your background, basic, intermediate, advanced. You're going to have videos, live sessions. You're going to be able to interact inside the community. This is all going to teach you the theory behind what it is that you need to do, okay? Theory. The second part is the practical, the app. Come on now. If you haven't already downloaded the app, go ahead and go into your Play Store, App Store, and download the Envision You application. This is the most powerful tool and effective tool that you are going to be able to use in this largest financial market in the world. Chinita touched on it earlier in regards to the stop loss feature. There's no trading without a stop loss. Why? Because the app is going to give you the stop loss, guys. It's going to automatically put it in there for you. And guess what? It also trails your trade. So as your trade is in more profit, the stop loss moves for you. This eliminates losses, guys. I'm fired up about this. If I had this would have prevented so many lessons in the marketplace. Not only that, guys, let me show you what this app does. The trade comes in. You don't need to do copy and paste like what we used to do. Copy the numbers, paste it over. Copying and pasting can sometimes open you up to, to mistakes. But this app, it gives you the parameters, and guess what you do? Swipe. Someone types swipe inside the chat box. You literally swipe like Tinder, and it executes the trade on your behalf. You can connect your broker straight to the app, and we have a call every Saturday, and we teach you exactly what you need to do to get yourself enrolled, to start off. All right, so you're well looked after. We don't just let you come in and leave you to it. Every Saturday, we have an enrollment class, and we have classes every single day helping you to get connected. In fact, those of you that decide to start the bootcamp today as it's day 1, you're going to be able to start trading with us straight away because we have a fast track for you that's going to enable you to get into the markets from today, okay? So that's phenomenal. What else does the app do? The app is going to give you live updates, instant notifications. So when gold starts to move up, you ain't got time to sit there watching the trades all day. It's going to give you a notification on your phone, and you literally swipe, you can execute that trade. All you have to do is put in whether it's 0.01 or however much you want to, risk when it comes to that trade. What else does it do, guys? We have a phenomenal feature coming out for the smartwatch that the trade is going to come on your watch. I know some of you at work, you can't get your phone out, but you see that trade on your watch, you just tap, 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 and you are now executing trades. You're making money all through the day, ladies and gentlemen. You also have our community chat. The ideas are going to come to your phone. You're going to be able to manage your orders directly from your phone. No third parties. We have a list of, brokers that you can connect to within the app, accredited and authorized brokers as well. So we're going to help you get everything set up, guys. But the best part of it, and I hope you can tell by now, I am a people's person. Trading by myself has always been boring. That's why we wanted to do it all together. Now, if you're like me, guys, you're going to love this feature. It's your sync with contacts, your prospect system. You get a chance to say, hey, look, I want to trade with some of my friends. Let's do it all together. When I first started, I called about 12 of my, close friends and family, and we all got together in my living room and we were doing it together. Well, you can do the same with your connections. And what the app allows you to do is sync your contacts so you can share your link with any of your friends and family. And should any of them decide to join your trading community, you now have your own business inside the business when it comes to a Forex and cryptocurrency business. What does that mean? Each referral, you're going to earn $35 from the company for recommending and referring their app. What does that mean? You can either take it as cash, or you can put it in your trade account and make more money on more money. Someone type money inside the chat. And finally, the third pillar is a crypto algorithm. Whoever put you on the call, they can go through that with you. And that's how you can trade Bitcoin. It's an additional add-on. for this, but they can go into a little bit more detail. So how does it work? How much is it for the app, guys? A measly, tiny $250 for the app and the education. Make sure you click that, because you can click the education only for $125. But if you do that, it means that when you do want the app, you have to pay $250 again for the app. So you want app and education, that's $250. And what we don't do is force you to stay for 3, 6, 9 months. We allow you to resubscribe on a month-by-month basis, and that is $150 per month. That gives you everything that we've spoken about today, okay? Now, here's how we're going to run the bootcamp, guys. Today, we looked at the mindset behind trading, the rules of the trading game, and from tomorrow, we are going to start going into some of the things that you're going to need to really start to understand this trading space so that you're able to go to Take Profit 2 and Take Profit 3. You coming today, guys, you're going to be able to go straight into your app, download your app. You're going to be able to start placing your trades. I'm going to share with you real quick what the notification looks like so you can see how simple it is. All right, you're going to get that straight off from your phone. Starting straight away from tomorrow, you're going to see something like this, okay? So you'll see it say entry price, stop loss, take profit 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to be able to select which one you go for just by tapping and swiping. It's that simple. But what we also want you to learn through the bootcamp is strategy. We want you to learn through the bootcamp how to analyze these markets for yourself. And so that's what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks here in bootcamp. Now, I have one goal, guys, and that is to grow this community, to let the world know the women, minorities, we can trade. And so the FL2 bootcamp is alive. Day 1 is here, and we made a commitment to help 3 get 3. And I want to encourage you, when you learn this skill set, don't keep it to yourself. Share this information. So we're going to be back here tomorrow. Okay, feel free to share the link to anybody at all that you know may be interested in learning a skill set, earning from this largest financial market in the world. And we're going to allow them to come onto the bootcamp, and we're going to go and grow together. My name is Nikki Sutherland. We were here today with Dr. Chinita Foster. Tomorrow, you're going to hear from the incredible Mrs. Angela Cruikshank as well. Absolute phenomenal powerhouse. I'm so fired up, guys, as you can see. And I tell you this, the company's vision to impact the lives of 1 billion. How many of them are going to come through FL2? How many of them are going to come from the FL2 crew, guys? I believe we're going to get the whole billion. I believe that 1 billion from the FL2 crew is so possible. So tomorrow, join me as we're going to do a little bit of chart work tomorrow. I'm going to show you the possibilities of really getting into these markets. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Go on your stories. Go in your group chats. Let the world know that the FL2 crew bootcamp is alive. Good night. God bless you wherever you are in the world. Take care, guys. Thank you so much for believing in the FL2 crew. We are only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. My goal is to get this call over 1,000. Will you help me, guys, as I help you to really navigate in these markets? I'll see you at the top, because guess what? You know that you deserve to be there. Good night. God bless you. See you all tomorrow. God willing. Let's go.